Can the North American side, Team Liquid, replicate the success they found in Columbus? Or will they crash and burn to, well, home favorites, I suppose? mousesports three-piece, of course, from Germany. We are here in Cologne, Germany now.
If he says that again, I'm going to strangle him, mate.
Three-piece. Three-piece. Three-piece.
The only three pieces around here are Semler's suits, okay? And I don't like those either, and they need to be kicked out of esports also.
Someone just got angry that you said that.
Yeah, he's like, three-piece?
Get triggered.
That isn't his style. Let's talk
I'll tase you, bro.
A little bit about Mirage. It's our second map. Will the Liquid Horse ride into the sunset, as you've described already?
Again, is it? Bloody hell. Good job the French are out. They eat horses.
So do us Brits in our mincemeat as well.
You got me there.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about
Get
this
out
one.
of Brexit.
It's Mirage, and it is going to be between mousesports Liquid. This has happened time and time again to mousesports, right? This constant struggle at the major. We, in the pre-show, discussed that this chances look pretty good. Better than before.
I think this is an excellent chance. Even though personally I'm favouring Team Liquid to get out, I think Team Liquid is a better team at the moment, even though admittedly we have less data. These are two ideal maps for mousesports. These are two of their best maps. Put it this way, if not now, then when? I mean, Nico was playing great on Cobble. If you can take that into the next maps, which are mousesports specialties, you'd hope the rest of the team's going to join him. They have routine on those maps. Those CT problems I talked about there, those aren't going to happen on Dust 2 if they get there. So I have to feel like, yeah, the chances are very good, but obviously they have to really come to play on Mirage. Like, they can't mess around here, not just because it's the second map, but because I actually think Liquid's chances on Mirage are much better than they are on Dust 2. Like, I think on Dust 2, actually, I favoured Mouse pretty heavily. So I think mousesports need to lock it down here and get us to that third map if they want to get this win.
I see you nodding throughout that whole sentence there, Yanko. A lot of your similar thoughts?
Yeah, I feel that what we saw just as the game ended with Kassad rallying the troops was him just telling guys, we lost both pistol rounds, don't worry about it. This was their map. Now we're going to our map, and the two maps that are left to play, we're favored on both of them. So just, you know, try to forget about that map, come in with a clear mind, and we can do this.
So I just want to quickly ask, you know Nico quite personally, you of course know Kassad as well. Is that something that they believe mousesports are capable of? Is that something we believe mousesports are capable of resetting? I mean, we've always called them quite an emotional team. They bicker. Can they just completely block Cobble out of their minds?
I think they can, especially because it's Mirage, and it's a map where Nico can do a lot to create room for the team around the middle area of the map on T side. I just feel they need to win some pistols. They've lost, I think, 5 out of 6 pistols so far in the tournament, which is weird because they have amazing pistol players. Nico, Chris J, and X, all three of them really efficient, especially with the USPs. So I feel that if they manage to pick it up in the pistol rounds, it will be much easier for them to play the rest of the game out.
There's no secret, Jason, your heart is in it for Liquid, but if you turn your heart off for a second, what's your head telling you?
You'd be dead.
Just turn it off for just a few seconds. Yeah. He starts turning blue. Let's go.
That'd be the lungs. Actually, maybe it would be the heart as well.
I don't know.
Jeez, I'm not a doctor.
Biology here on the desk.
I'm not a doctor.
Let's go, Jason.
The knee bones connected.
No, I mean, I just echoing what Duncan said, this is a situation where mousesports is so much better on Dust 2 than they are on Mirage. Well, then, there's just so much better on Dust 2 than Liquid is on Dust 2. So Liquid really needs to win this Mirage match because I think going into that final map, it's going to be very, very tough for him. And also, it's a little weird because we have to throw out so much data because the last matches we've seen out of Liquid are when they had Adren, when they had Kusta. So the tough part for mousesports, I think, even in the remaining 2 maps where they have the advantage, is that they don't know what's coming whatsoever. They don't know how good these guys are going to be. And all of a sudden, you have that X factor of Simple, who's now playing well because he's been quiet for Team Liquid throughout this tournament. So, I mean, I still think Liquid's going to take it. I haven't taken the series, but I think it has to be on Mirage.
Are we going to be seeing Dust 2, Yanko?
I think so. For Liquid, I think for them to win this map, they're starting as CT. They need a strong CT side because I feel that's where they can rely more on their individual skill. Simple as a player who can make things happen with his aggressive AWP play. So I still think that mousesports is going to find that mental fortitude and is going to have the grit to take it to the third map.
And just quickly, Duncan, team name.
Yeah, I think Team Liquid's going to get it, but just on individual skill alone.
Individual skill alone. Believing in the North Americans, not something you see Duncan doing every day. Let's have a little look, though. It's time to jump into mousesports Liquid, potentially seeing Liquid get to the Lanxess Arena in this one. Casters, Anders, and Semler.
Thank you very much, Alex. Appreciate that. We are going to head in here. It's second map in this best of 3. What do you think? Is everyone lining up with Liquid?
I mean, I'm sticking by what I said at the beginning of this best of 3 series, man. I think the mousesports are going to be able to pull it through here on Mirage, get the job done on Dust 2. There's a lot going on. Just obviously like the aim and the individual skill alone, which is what Duncan is going with. I mean, that if anything, that is what's going to pull Liquid through here. Is just that they shine individually.
Well, we are already going to head into the pistol round and look at the incredible stack that's going on the B bomb side. Again, it seems like homework from Liquid's point of view. They know what's already happening. The flashes are coming through. Hiko is going to be going down, and now the push is on. The Glocks are overwhelming. Simple 9 bullets left. Hasn't reloaded yet, and is not going to get a chance to either. It's in fact Dennis picking up 2 great kills. A third one coming in. Dennis looking for more. It's just Elige left, and he can't reload in time. What a great round for mousesports, and again, an absolute roar erupts from the second floor here, as you can just hear them downstairs going ham. Now, that's great. I love the fact that Dennis got those 3 kills, because he was almost absent entirely on Cobblestone, so it's really nice to see him off to a good start.
That's unfortunately one of the major things that holds mousesports back. It's just how consistent the players are at delivering frags for Nico to work with. And unfortunately on mousesports, it always feels like, yeah, you can count on Nico, and then it's always going to be like Speedy, Chris, Nex, or Dennis that just like vanish completely and don't do anything on the map, right? And so, yeah, you're right. I mean, if you're going to set up a stack, Liquid, you kind of need to hit the shots. So, the situation favored you, I would say, but mousesports, man, they just hit everything. And Dennis, you're right. He shined in that first round. Now mousesports are going to start same approach that they had on Cobblestone, flip-flopping. Go to that B site. Now we're going to go overhead and test out that A site real quick.
But I also think I think once they realized, oh, they really are coming B, it's working out, then Hiko sort of decided to run up into them, and I think he just wanted to get into the corner, but still, that was a bit risky. A lot of Molotovs being used here, which I absolutely love. I think you should use all these grenades to make sure you don't throw away this round. And Simple's the only one who's on the bomb site, so I'm guessing the rest of Liquid are probably just gonna say, all right, this round is pretty much lost here. Great job from Simple, but there's no point for them in throwing away a lot of armor and pistols here just to try and get a couple more kills in.
This is silly, and none of Liquid budge when there's just nades going off all around Simple, and it's just a storm of just shrapnel and flame on that site. And the rest of Liquid are just like, right, Simple, you take care of that, mate. You're the disposable stand-in. It's all good. We don't really care if you die. It's all good. He at least managed to pick up 1 kill, but what I think is, all jokes aside, Liquid are obviously just saying, right, all right, we stacked on B, we took a risk, we invested in this round, it didn't pan out, we're going to stay on B and save the gear for the next round. So this is all according to the plan, guys. If you're getting frustrated with why Liquid wouldn't rotate off the B site, there is a method to the madness. Yeah,
and it makes perfect sense, doesn't it? The chances that they could have been there to help them out anyway are not really there. That wouldn't have been the case. So no point in getting too upset about that one. Third round is coming up now, and we'll see what Liquid can do. Still 3 Kevlars on their side and some pretty good pistols. So, but mousesports will also know this, right? They understand from that round what they're up against here. So they're going to be probably pretty thorough again. They have all those Molotovs and no reason not to check all the corners.
Just stay grouped. That's all I want to see from mousesports. Don't go off on your own little mission. Don't be the hero. Just stay grouped, play as a unit, and it seems rinse and repeat. Go towards that A site, go for the full execute again. And right now, it's not really looking too hot here for Liquid. There's only Simple, again, alone on that A site. And Liquid really are counting on the same kind of approach that we saw from mousesports in the first map on that Cobblestone, where they kept going A, B, A, B, A, B, back and forth. Liquid stack on B again, expecting mousesports to come towards that B site. That's just not going to be the case. Full execute coming out onto the A site now for mousesports.
Yeah, Simple. P250 this time around, but the smoke is a little bit tricky for him to try and look through there. He is trying, though. See without the X-ray that there's really not a lot that he can see, and as soon as he's up there, it's going to be just an army of people on the other side ready to fight him. This time, Liquid feel like, well, look, we're going to be buying next round anyway, so let's try and see if we can't get a little bit something out of it. I mean, you could argue that if they say the sort of the Kevlar, especially here again, then they'll have more to invest into grenades in the upcoming round, then that looks like they're actually going to apply that logic. That, I think, we don't see too often. I think a lot of the time people will end up sort of just going all out in a round like this. Nitro the one to try it, and did get a kill at least.
Yeah, with the CZ though, so he doesn't even really get that much loss, kill money coming from that pistol. So just a little unfortunate for him. Still, I mean, I do think that you're spot on. Liquid just going to hold on to the guns, hold on to the Kevlar. They even saved $300 on Elige with that smoke grenade, and we'll look to the next round. JDM, definitely expect to see him prioritizing that AWP, and he will have the money for it. He could get Kevlar as well. And as far as mousesports are concerned, I'm looking towards Chris J. And yeah, Chris J, he's going to hand off the Galil to Speedy, instantly go up to that AWP. So we'll have that duel now between both oppers. And it looks like Chris right now, he's angling towards that A site. So we'll see. He might be looking to see if he can't pick somebody off from the pit as they try and make their way into mid.
Yeah, you can definitely find that timing, although as soon as he jumps up, you realize that's not going to be the case anymore. Looks like a pretty fast execute here. Nico is going to be playing the middle, and he's already forcing JDM to stay back, which means he doesn't have information about what's happening right now. So the timing could be really good. The only problem is Nitro is so far pushed up in the hallways here, so going to be a little bit scary there. Now walking onto the site, JDM missing the flick. Nitro has to come in big to help out, and actually he gets a kill. Simple and JDM picking up 1 kill each, and it's going to be down to Chris and Speedy to try and see if they can find some way out of this madness here. Missed shot from Chris, and JDM seems to have finally found his style as well. Double kill for him at the round, and now a 1-on-2 here. Speedy trying to plant out in the open, and will in fact be successful with that, but he's only got the Galil.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, he has no idea that they're coming both from pit. Buddy system in action here for Team Liquid. Nitro and Elise are looking to just pair up. One of them, well, not even. Just get the dunk nade in there. Spitty, not a chance, not a hope. And mousesports, the reason, like this is a really sick play coming in from mousesports. I like this, you know, the change of pace coming out from them, right? You know, the full smoke execute, sometimes you'll have teams, they'll wait like 30, 40 seconds into the round before they actually execute it, right? Before they throw it out there. Mousesports are just counting on Liquid playing safe, because Liquid didn't win the pistol, so there's a little bit of additional pressure on Liquid. They might not want to go for the aggressive plays for information by you know, for example, pushing into B apartments. Mousesports are just counting on Liquid staying, you know, fixed on the sites. So this kind of turn of speed might catch them off guard. They weren't expecting Liquid to just go for the information play, straight aggressive push into B apartments. It completely wrecked everything for Mousesports that round.
We'll see. It looks like they're setting up for the exact same thing. So mousesports' interpretation of what just happened might be a little bit different. They might be thinking, look, I mean, next time we just win one of those fights and then the round is ours. Dennis ready and waiting here. Does spot Elise coming through the smoke and yet fails to get the kill. That's got to be a bit disappointing because that's one of those situations where you really should be able to do it. But gonna give Liquid a really good start here.
Yeah, that is a bit of a 100% kill there, unfortunately, for Dennis. He can't let Elise just step through the smoke and get the kill for free. This isn't North America. We're in Germany right now. Nico will be able to get Elise actually going way too aggressive. Nice punish there. Nitro trading 1-for-1 in the pit, but this is still a 3-on-3 scenario. JDM dancing on the edge of the smoke by jungle, though. He's looking towards Palace. He wants to find that kill, but he's not going to do it. Decides to play it safe and play for the retake now with his team.
They are leaving Nico behind here, so if they make some noise on the other side of the map and someone starts to run and make too much noise, then Nico will be able to hear it and sort of maybe try and follow up on it. It is always a good idea to try and do this. It's a little bit more risky when you have 2 people left alive actually pushing the B-bomb site. That's when things get a little bit scary, because if even one person goes down, that could be the end of it. Nico only has 1 flashbang to distract them with anyway, so it might be a bit tricky. Simple is moving up towards Catwalk, and it's going to be, I think, tragically for Liquid or for mousesports, he might actually be in perfect time to catch them here.
He will be in the perfect spot, won't he? He can look back towards apartments if he hears the steps, and if they start stomping around an underpass, he'll communicate that to his teammates as well. 20 seconds left on this clock here for mousesports. This really isn't leaving them a whole lot of time to play with, and so looks like they want to go for the boost, but you guys, you just don't have time for this. 15 seconds now, down to 13. There's the key shot onto JDM, but there's still a second man alive in CT. Nico hasn't spotted him yet, and it's too late. Simple is going to pick off Chris J. 6 seconds left, and the bomb is dropped in mid. The round is over, unless Hiko or Simple die in the next second. But Simple, he played it smart. He backed off to the B site, and there's no chance at all for mousesports in this round. So a second round on the board now for Liquid.
Yeah, I am very confused. Like that's just leaving too much to chance, really. 15 seconds or something like that as they make the push into window. Chris getting picked off, killed the round pretty much. So a bit of an unfortunate turn of events here. Liquid picking up a round though, and the mousesports, they will try and buy behind this anyway. They did save some guns, but still, they're right at the edge of an eco, so they pretty much need to win this round.
The thing is, they're thinking the same thing about Liquid, right? One guy survives the last round, they won't have the double AWP. It's going to be Liquid trying to put together a pretty limited buy themselves. Only the rifles, but very light on the nades, as you guys can see. So, I mean, for mousesports, it kind of makes sense to just go for the straight-up YOLO play. Apply as much pressure as possible to B. They aren't going to have the Molotovs and everything else to stop you with. Nico's going to start things off strong by taking out Elise, but Simple, the rotation has come out. There's 3 players here for Liquid, and Hiko's wrecking them.
Great double kill, JDM helping out as well, and Simple there to close out the round with the help of JDM, who also picks up a double. So that will tie up the scoreline at 3-3, and this time Liquid only losing 2 members. So Yeah, a bit of an upgrade from the previous rounds.
Simple saves that op as well. That is a problem for mousesports. Because now, I mean, if Liquid want to make this their go-to strategy, Simple and JDM, they're definitely good enough to count on with those ops. Put one on each site, and mousesports, they've got a difficult problem to solve here.
I feel like especially when Simple is playing on the A-bomb side, because they've been using these smokes a lot already, where they try and get sort of the default smoke strat into A. And that AWP can be lethal on the other side of smoke too. Leash having a grand old time in Underpass, just picking up 3 kills. And JDM up here about to have a bit of his shooting gallery of his own. Actually, Simple, the one to steal that kill. JDM going down, and so will Leash. Speedy looking for more. Poor JDM. He wanted that kill, but it was actually Simple to stall it, and then he got shot in the face with an eagle. There's no justice at all in this universe. Nitro going to be able to pick up Speedy anyway, and Liquid now taking over the round lead for the first time on this map.
I learned that yesterday, Anders, when G2 were no longer in the tournament.
No, I was going to say that was justice. It was. I can't say that. I feel so bad for Shoxy.
Exactly, man. No heart, Anders. Yeah. You have no heart.
I can't do it.
What Elige does have, though, is Skrilla made a lot of money there, actually. 5,900 means that he can fully buy up. So no problems at all here for Liquid, man. Right now, this is looking like smooth sailing. Just a little bit of a bump in the road versus that eco, but that's not the end of the world. And Simple, once again, has that AWP for mid, and I like it. He's even predicting if they try and push through that smoke, which sometimes teams try to do. They get that short smoke down, and then they try and surprise the guy in window by jumping through it. Simple's ready. This time, however, it's Elise to spot out Dennis, and right through the smoke will pick him off at connector.
I like the fact that Elige is coming into it here. Again, he was looking so nervous on Cobblestone, but right now he's top fragging at 8 kills in. Even if it's early on here, I still feel like that's going to be a huge asset to Liquid, because the rest of them, I'm pretty sure, are going to step it up eventually. Elige does go down, just as I was praising him. Simple gets a frag, and there's a double up in play. JDM helping out, and Pico to take out Nex. And Liquid now, that's 5 rounds in a row, and mousesports need to come up with some sort of answer to this, although they don't have that much money, so I'd venture to say they're probably just going to go for a half buy here, and then see what they could do from there on out.
Half buy, just get some Tech 9s, some Kevlar, a couple of nades. And, you know, if Liquid want to go aggressive like this, there's ways to punish it. If Elige is going to push underpass, you put 2 guys towards B apartments and you flash an underpass, you just rush him down. You get 2 guys to top mid. You know, there are options here. If you want to play aggressive mid, Liquid, we've got ways to handle that as well. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case for mousesports. I mean, at the beginning of the half, they had some success trying to go for fast plays onto A from Pit. It looks like they want to try and go back to that. Only problem is Liquid have changed it up. They've got Nitro pushed up into Palace. So between Elige and Nitro, they have the potential now to just completely Shrek mousesports when they come out onto A site.
Flashbang out, and Chris is down. A good kill from JDM, and Hiko did a follow-up on that. Looks like there's going to be no chance to get a bomb plan at all. Next, the last man left, and he's been found out as well. Nitro trying to just not die, essentially. And eventually, JDM to pick up the second kill there. So 6-3 here, and Liquid looking a little bit better.
Yeah, a lot better, right? Look at that. 12,000 pretty much on Simple at the beginning of the round. That is some sick, feel-good money right there. I mean, yeah.
I would be interested. This is a strategy that's really hard to execute, but for a number of different reasons. But I would love to see a fast sort of catwalk and hallways B split.
Yeah, we saw that a little bit today from Dignitas, actually. Right?
Yeah, exactly. But it is really hard to coordinate. There are so many ways that it could go wrong. And this time the bomb is over by the A slope, so you can already tell that's not going to happen. Somehow not getting the kill on the other side there was Chris J. Well, his teammates are setting up in the middle. We'll see how fast mousesports are going to be. They certainly need to start getting some more rounds on the board here.
Oh, it looks like they've boosted Simple up as well. Elige, bit of the team play there between Liquid and mid. They had a presence at window, and now it starts to spread out a little bit more into something that will be a little bit more resilient. Simple has actually handed off his AWP to JDM, and is just going to be holding on to that M4. And so we'll see. I mean, Simple with the M4 in this position can be brutal right now for mousesports if they make their way up short. But it looks like mousesports, they have a different thing in mind. They want to split onto A, 3 through connector, 2 through pit, and just hope to crush the defense. JDM, he's got that AWP, he's at CT, but again, Nitro up in Palace. This could completely ruin things for Nex and Chris.
Oh, the timing. Nico looking away. Just as Simple walks in. It's a good job on Dennis to at least get the refrag there. Now, they're going to try and see if they can make the win, but the fact that Nitro is up there again, I love this style from Liquid. This is something that almost no teams will do consistently. They'll do it every once in a while, but it seems to be a main feature of the A defense right now as Elish comes in with 2 great kills, and it's down to Chris and Nix. 2 on 4. Liquid are looking so confident on the CT side, and I think that's the most surprising factor here. Elish, that's a 4th kill coming in. What a defense being put up, and that's 13 overall. No one else has even broken into double digits yet.
I love it. Excellent. I was just thinking it, and mousesports go for it. They're going to go for the tactical timeout. Hey, now's enough. Now's the time. You have the money to buy in the next round. Just stop. Put a stop to it, because right now, that last round, that's autopilot from mousesports. They're not checking into connector. I mean, okay, you kill off Simple, but he was in the ladder room. He's playing short. That you should be expecting that. How are you not looking for a guy in connector when you're pushing onto A site, right? They just ran right past him and gave Elise 2 free kills. That's the kind of mistake that's really just coming from mousesports starting to zone out a little bit. You know, they're what is it, punch drunk, right? Like a boxer. You know, they're kind of stumbling around on their feet right now. They got jello legs. They're not really sure what's going on, but they're just trying to stay in the fight. You know, they're just trying to stay in the fight, Anders, but it's not looking good. It's not looking good. This time, it's not throwing in the towel, but it's definitely like they got saved by the bell, because mousesports are deciding we need a little bit of a break here to try and get our heads back into this.
Yeah, Counter-Strike's one of those teams where you really can't surrender, you know? You've got to go all the way to the end, right? Even if you are getting beat up.
It's going to be brutal no matter how you cut it.
Yeah, I'm wondering at this point what the call is. They seemed very insistent early on to try and go for those A attacks, and honestly, at this point, I feel like there is enough of a reason for them to think that Nitro is, or someone else is going to be up in those A hallways up at the Palace. So maybe try and find that person. I mean, there is maybe a reason why other teams don't do this frequently, and it's because it is a bit of a risk there. It's not an easy job defending the Palace if you're on the CT side. Like, lots of things can go wrong. For one thing, you could just plain be overwhelmed, right?
Right.
So I would say find Nitro up there as a start. They must have realized by now that every time they push up on the A slope, he's going to be there shooting them in the back.
Well, it's more like, yeah, it's basically you have to fix your default. And mousesports aren't really going to default at all. Like, they aren't playing a slow style, a slow measured style where they're spread out across the map. They're taking their time, slowly getting map control. Each, you know, you have to picture it all as like a zone, each like little boxes on the map. And so the terrorists at the beginning of the round, they're looking to control each of those little boxes that surround the bomb sites to facilitate them getting onto the bomb site, not having to worry about getting shot in the back, for example. All of these things, right, that are part of the T side. And right now, mousesports, they're cutting corners and getting punished. And I'm wondering, was there some miscommunication there? Speedy goes for the hero AK, while the rest of his team kind of go for the half-buy. So, and he actually just hands that off to his teammate. What is going on here? Nico now has the AK? Okay, then.
Maybe he had an aneurysm. It's going to be Dennis going down early on. Simple with that quick kill. I can't really explain that one AK, because that means the next round he's not going to have any money and everything is confusing. Next is going to be taking down JDM, and that will leave Nico and Nex left here. They need a lot more out of this round to make it worth it, especially with that AK being picked up. It is on Nico, so maybe they're just setting this up for like a really great frag reel. Elish will be going down. How did Nex win that fight? He's one bullet away from death. That actually gives them a legitimate chance here. Nico being jumped on by Nitro, and that's going to be the end of the round, I think. Next here, no scoping with the AWP, running into the open, but they're so close all around, and Simple will take the kill, and that's 8 straight rounds in a row here for Team Liquid.
It had to be the end of the round once Nitro figured out where the bomb was. He figured out, wait, I'm sitting on the bomb in A pit. They have to come to me at some point here if they actually want to win, right? At that point, it all becomes, you know, having faith in Simple. And there was a little bit of shakiness there, maybe an error of communication. But Nitro, you know, came off the bomb to look back towards the site when Simple was already covering that area. So he really just needs to trust in Simple to watch his back so that he can fully focus on T-spawn and lock that bomb down. So just a little bit of shakiness. But again, Liquid, just you know, things seem to go their way. Now look at this, though. Nico, he's over here in the Palace. He's going to spot them coming, and he's not going to win the fight. Nitro just charges into him, gets the opening kill for Liquid. Nico at least was able to spot 2, or he might have been able to just spot 2. So that's some information.
Or heard it, yeah. I think he will have heard the stomping going around there. Oh, man. I mean, they had the idea to go and fight it, but whereas they might have been able to guess that Nitro is up there, I don't think they would have realized that they also pushed 2 people in there. Now they do. But that's just going to be really depressing for mousesports. They're going to try and see if they can make their way up the ramp and maybe take a bit of a fight early on here. Elise still in the corner, and no one's checked it. In fact, Speedy, not really sure why he was bumping into someone there, but he was. And Next now trying to stay alive here. He's down to half health. Backup is miles away. Dennis is sort of creeping in through connector, but not sure he's going to be here in time. That smoke is about to fade. And when it does, actually, Dennis does show up with a kill on JDM. That's a good start, but Next is out of it. No bomb currently being picked up, all on Chris J. 45 seconds at a 1v2.
Finds the kill on Hiko, so he does turn it into a 1v2. You're right. That smoke going down, though, is just going to make life a little bit difficult. Oh, Chris! He didn't spot the gun barrel. It looked like he could have seen the gun barrel there from Simple just poking around the corner.
He could have, but I think his mind was a little bit preoccupied at that point in time. Just worrying about 100 different things, probably.
Yeah, I mean, worried obviously about the crossfire, right? That somebody would be watching from the site itself. Just it just, you know, that tactical timeout came in, and it seems like it's more of the same from mousesports, to be frank. Like right now, they're just kind of running around and not really being able to go toe-to-toe with Liquid whatsoever. I mean, these couple of rounds have been close, but it's not enough.
Look at this, though. Look at this Liquid. They are actually switching it up. So now things get really tricky for mousesports because they've been doing a very similar setup for a long time. Now, instead, they're going to push aggressively and putting 2 people in underpass and charging all the way up. That's really rare, and maybe, just maybe, that was a bit too much. Elise and Nitro going to go down. I actually I'm still going to say it. I think that was a really good idea for Liquid. I think they had a smart plan going into this one, but the timing just worked against them.
Yeah, the timing, and also the fact that mousesports finally go for a full default. As in, fully hold off all of the angles. They had Speedy up in Palace, they had Nex in Pit, Chris J holding in B apartments, right? They just covered everything. That's what they need to do, play with the clock. Instead of feeling like you're forced to just constantly push.
It's true, but the normal default on this map would have featured Chris actually going into underpass, right? Like normally you don't hold that far back. Yeah. So it is a bit interesting. I think that might have just been like random luck of the draw almost. JDM is trying to see if he can pick up a kill. He's sort of trapped behind the boxes now. He's also on fire, which is never a good thing. JDM ends up going down, and Hiko and Simple, what could they do at this point in time?
Not a whole lot. Cross their fingers and hope. Hiko not really going to try and get in there. Oh, Simple just barely misses out on the timing. Could have picked off Nico for free. He is going to try and hunt for that kill, but he just can't get in position fast enough. There is plenty of money in the bank, obviously, for Liquid to go for this, which is why they are charging forward. The goal now becomes for Hiko to try and get a couple of kills, try and make this a little bit more expensive for mousesports, but that's not going to be the case. 3 rifles saved for mousesports, along with the sniper rifle on Nico, so he'll be able to hand that over to Chris J, and mousesports finally break the streak. So now we got to see, all right, Liquid, you know, interesting that you decide to go aggressive, but I'm curious to see now if Liquid continue to go aggressive or if it's just like, right, just get the lockdown going, nail these last 2 rounds, and have that 11-4 scoreline at the end of the first half here.
Well, from the looks of it, they are doing at least not their usual style of putting Nitro into apartments. So instead, it's Elise by connected JDM by A, which also in the past was Simple. And then they're actually going to push 2 people onto Catwalk for a bit of a boost up here for Simple. So they are still putting a lot of variance into their defense right now. And it will be very hard for mousesports to guess what's going on. And maybe we're at the point where mousesports need to stop worrying about that and just try and keep focus on their own strategy and how they're going to want to open up these sites here. They're playing very defensively once again, as you were pointing out last time. So maybe that's a good way to start off.
I think that's the feel-good way for mousesports right now. The only problem is that Team Liquid aren't going to play into it. So mousesports, they're going to run it down to a minute. Team Liquid will start trying to make a play for information somewhere on the map, whether that's Nitro in mid. Nitro definitely playing from ladder room right now, so he's kind of just hanging around, hoping to pick up some kind of audio cue, underpass, etc. Elise, JDM, like nobody's really in position to try and go for an aggressive push. But what I'm curious to see is whether it's going to be Elise setting up Nitro or Nitro setting up Elise. Somebody might try and peek mid soon here just to see if they can't spot something. They don't have anything to go off of right now, Liquid. All they know is that a smoke just went off in mid. So there's something, but they're still so spread out, Liquid.
Nico gonna put up a smoke that's gonna land close to Nitro, and we'll see if he can, close to Elise, and see if he could maybe get some information out of that. They are going to be flashed into the middle. And right now, we're down to 25 seconds. This is going to be a really close round, especially with JDM's position here to potentially stop the bomb. Elise trying to hide. Did they see him? They haven't done any damage yet. And JDM picks up a kill. Another one coming through. Elise taking down Nico. And Nico, oh no, this is not working out, is it? Chris, the last man left. 1 versus 2 and 10 seconds. He can't win the round any longer. There's absolutely no way to do this, so he just has to run away. My God, it all happened in the space of, what, 3 seconds? And that was the end of the round. 10 rounds now for Team Liquid, and that's such a massive problem here. mousesports economically almost entirely reset. They almost just might as well buy in this round. They've got they could buy 1 AK, 2 Galils, a Tech 9, and they have the AWP. Might as well just go for it.
They just might be broken at this point. That's my issue. That is the most nerve-wracking way to play CS as well, where it's actually like, we're both going to sit and wait until the last second, and it's all going to happen in the next 5 seconds, basically. Like, the next 5 seconds will decide who wins the round, who hits the shots, right? And Elise, what a hero. What a champ. Came through at Connector, just made all the difference there, along with JDM obviously hitting a couple of off shots. That certainly helped. But Elise, he's got to be the linchpin there. So just beautiful work in the end from Liquid. They played it patient. They were willing to play mousesports' game, and they beat them. They beat mousesports at their game. So that's really going to shake mousesports more than anything. mousesports now going for the buy. They've got the 4 rifles. They have the AWP on Chris. They just need to give time for Chris to work a little bit with that AWP, because right now there isn't a whole lot that he can hope to do with the op. I mean, he's going to see if he can actually find somebody peeking towards underpass, but no mid battle, nothing like that right now for now in the cards. Although he might be trying to work his way towards Connector. Let's see if he can find a Liege. That might actually be the big opening here for mousesports to play off of.
He's playing fairly defensively at the moment, so it might not be that easy. This is a booster they've tried before, and last time it wasn't too successful. This time they got Chris just looking in there, but he's not even going to find anyone. Liquid really have not that much mid-control as what you'd normally see a CT team do. Normally you'd see a lot more emphasis on the middle, but they're just sort of very loosely holding on to it. Hiko moving up and taking a spray fight and winning it. He must have seen the bomb there too. Then it's going to be going down, and this is just all falling apart here. Liquid, 2 kills away from 11 rounds, and Hiko nearly with a double there, but he did a lot of damage to Speedy anyway. And a flashbang in. No, actually, it's going to be a smoke. It probably should have been a flashbang. It doesn't matter. Simple, picking up 2 kills. 11-4 in the first half for Team Liquid. 5 rounds away from making it into the top 8.
They are so close, and that's the repeat kind of performance that they're looking for right now, Liquid. That's what they're all gambling about. I mean, obviously at Columbus, they made it to the semifinals where they fell short, but it was an incredible performance from them with the help of Simple. Now, you're right, they are so close to getting it done here versus mousesports. And mousesports, look at this. I mean, they just look so incredibly frustrated right now, almost defeated before it's even over.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really blame them, can you? It would have to require a hero performance to get back into it. We'll see how it goes after the break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's the second half of the second map here. We've got an 11-4 scoreline in favor of Team Liquid, which means they are just 5 rounds away from making it into legend status here. That could be very exciting indeed. And I don't know, mousesports, I don't even know what would have to happen for them to come back here. Elige, that we got on camera, was largely absent on the first map, but on this map, he has got 18 kills and is top fragging in the server.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of the work to get his team through, but really everybody on Liquid seems to be delivering. They're all getting the job done when it's necessary, right? JDM, he may be low on the kills, but a lot of those have been high impact frags, just really shutting down mousesports at key rounds. It's, you know, a little bit more of the flashy kills for Liege. And in case you're just joining us, I mean, right now Liquid, they're battling to join Astralis and Flipside, not Nip. Nip fell to Flipside in the best of 3 before this one. So,
And
that's just, you know, just so you can pause and contemplate that.
And Gambit is also up there. So we have Na'Vi, Flipside, and Gambit from the CIS region. That's CIS Majors, what we're looking at here. It's quite exciting. In fact, Chris is in the window, Dennis is at the A-bomb site, and the 3-man stack towards B. I think mousesports a little bit worried that they were going to get rushed down early on by Pistol Rush, which is definitely a likely scenario. But instead, we're looking at a bit of A pressure here. The bomb is actually making its way back up into the apartment, so not really sure about that, or up to Palace. Not sure what's going on. Nitro's out here, and he hasn't seen anyone yet. In fact, mousesports are starting to fall back towards the B-bomb side. This is a very curious round coming out from both teams.
He's flipping out right now. He's like, where is everybody? And mousesports, again, is this like the anti-strat coming in, where they're just like, right, we're going to stack everybody on B side because they're clearly going to go for a B rush. This is Liquid after all. I mean, not going to happen. You know, Simple's influence does not extend that far. And it is going to be an A play here for Liquid. They will get that bomb plant down, and it's going to come down to the retake for mousesports. The only problem is now they have to worry about 2 guys in B site ready to flank.
This is a nuts round. Elige taking a fight and dropping. Well, actually, that was JDM helping out, taking out Dennis there. If they lose control of CT spawn, then the retake is going to be incredibly tough right now. Nitro coming in from the window, and Nexus there to help out. And now it's all on Hiko, and there's nothing he could do. Speedy has the kit, and he's already on it. And Hiko can't stop this round from going mousesports' way. I can think of maybe 100 different ways that round could have worked out for Liquid. And somehow mousesports found a way into it anyway. That's so confusing.
Yeah, I think confusing is the key word. I think that everybody was confused on that round. I think Liquid, same thing. Nitro, he's just like, where's all the CT players? What do I do with this sort of scenario?
One big thing that also Dennis is kind of impressive, because Dennis does stick around in CT spawn for a long time, and he sort of hears them pushing in when they come. Now, before that happens, Liquid, and especially Hiko is over there with the Tech 9 armor. If you heard the Tech 9 in B, even that it wouldn't be confirmation, but you would be heavily inclined to think they're probably going to push B, because that's one of those sort of big tools, right? So there was a deep fake coming out of Liquid, and it seemed to even work.
They're going to be a little bit more straightforward this time around, Liquid, it looks like. Flash out onto the B site. Now for the run. Next, not going to be able to pick up a kill. Instead, it's going to fall to Speedy, who's holding by bench, and he's going to get traded instantly. Very well done there by Simple with the timing. Now it's all on the retake, because that bomb is about to get planted, and it just barely does in time. Nico going to pick up 2 kills, but still Hiko and Simple alive, and they've got a bit of a crossfire established. It comes down to them actually getting the kills, and it's not going to happen. Nico reigns supreme, and it's on Hiko now to clutch it for his team.
Well, there's a good start. Headshot with the Tech 9, going for a bit more. Very nearly could have taken out Chris, but it will be the mousesports team to make it through anyway. With quite a lot of passion, I hate those 2 positions that Dennis and Speedy were holding in the beginning of this round. I just don't see almost any use for them. If you are on a sort of a save round and you happen to have a max 7 or something, I don't mind you standing by the truck just to try and do it. But other than that, those are positions where you can't even do anything. Like, think about it. There's no way you can go and take a quick fight and then fall back. You're just in that position, and you just have to hope that they look the wrong way. I really don't like it. I think it's a horrible idea.
Dennis is probably the one that really like outlines it nicely. You're in a one and done kind of spot. Like, you get 1 kill, but they're just going to be dropping all over you. It's not pretty. And well, it's not the end of the world for Liquid. Obviously, they finished that first half at 11-4. They have quite a room for margin, or margin for error rather, before they have to start getting worried about mousesports catching up. Where did that dunk nade just go?
I think
Nitro, Hiko, and Elige took a lot of damage towards B, and they're looking to just get that bomb plant now. Team Liquid, can they actually achieve it?
Speedy and Nex are both gone down, so yes, it will be a bomb plant for Liquid. They don't have any armor, which makes you think probably mousesports are going to be in a good position to do this retake anyway. They are taking a little bit of time to get in here, but they have 2 kits in place, so it shouldn't be much of a problem right now. Nico coming in from Catwalk. There's a grenade on Nitro. Now they're taking a bit too much time for my liking. And JDM has a Molotov. I have to point out, they do have a smoke right now on Chris, but if he uses it, that's going to be a horrible flaw. Now he's alone out in the open, and that's going to be the round. Liquid picking it up. Double for Nitro, double for Elige, and mousesports when you lose around like this, I don't even know what you got to be thinking. And again, I want to point out, playing close to the truck when you have no idea what's happening, I really hate it. I can't even explain it. It's so bad.
I can just see you clenching your fists together, right?
Yeah, like if you have someone who's playing in the bomb site who can distract them, who can see them running up into the hallways, and when they come out to jump down, you know, he's going to be there to help you out. That's different. If you were being aggressive and you were the one spotting into the hallways, that would be different. But just standing down there without any information, what do you expect? What will happen? I mean, it's not a good idea.
No. I mean, you may hate that, Anders. What I hate is that 2 of those players had rifles picked up and they still stuck to Tech 9s, and the Tech 9s were better.
Yeah, but that is the reason the Tech 9s were better was because mousesports had elected to put themselves in position where the Tech 9s were always going to be right in their face.
No, after plant, the retaking kitchen from Nitro. Like, just, I mean, obviously, because he's going to get that one-shot headshot potential. It worked out perfectly, marvelously well. The same for the Man in B Apartments, but enough about that. This isn't a soapbox. Sorry, Scoots. 12-6. And Liquid, well, they do have the money for the rifles. Obviously, they saved 3 M4s from the last round, and it's mousesports who are sitting on pistols. But this is a complete and utter disaster as far as mousesports are concerned. They need to be the ones getting the stack going, just chaining rounds together. Instead, now Liquid should be able to pick up a pretty neat anti-eco here, get up onto that 13th round. And mousesports are going to be hard-pressed to get a very solid buy in the next round as well. So it's looking pretty grim here if you're a mousesports fan.
I like the part where you just casually throw Scoots on the bus. People need to do that every once in a while.
I know, right? He's not here, so just gotta say, shout out to Scoots.
I feel like it has been too long, hasn't it, though? 13-6 is the scoreline that we're looking at here. Team Liquid are 3 rounds away from making it into the top 8, and if nothing else, that has got to be exciting. An American team in top 8. We do love to make fun of America in Counter-Strike, but it seems to be working progressively better over time. There is an upward trend in how American people play Counter-Strike, which is good.
I mean, there's a weird kind of balance going on here, actually. This is one of the more balanced brackets that we'll have ever had. 3 CIS teams, a South American team, a North American team, potentially, and then, you know, 3 European teams.
Yeah, what's happening to Euroland Counter-Strike is what I want to know. Speedy is going to be taking out 1 kill there on Nitro, but next goes down. Nice double there. Speedy with a triple overall. They just seem to line up for him. Simple gets 1 in return, and now it's a 2-on-3. Grit spray coming through. He's just taking this fight out in the open. JDM wondering if it isn't time to get that bomb plant, and he's a little bit worried about it. They do have a lot of tools. There's another kill. Simple triple right now. They just have no answer to the power of the Ukrainian player. Finally, well, it looked like Dennis had the opening then. Not quite gonna be able to capitalize on it, and now down to half health. He gets a headshot on Simple. It's a 1-on-1 UMP versus M4. And Dennis sneaking around, he's looking the wrong way, and JDM is gonna find the kill. And there it is. Things just got a lot worse for mousesports here. 14 rounds, and they don't have any money.
Agony. And it's agonizing to watch it as well, because that's an eco round win, clutch win. Team Liquid right now, everything seems to be going their way. Mousesports battle as hard as they might. They're just not able to make anything happen right now. 2 rounds now left for Team Liquid, and a spot in the top 8 at the major here in Cologne, and a spot on that stage on Friday. That is going to be so sick. But now we have to see it. Are they going to be able to keep their cool, Liquid? It's an anti-eco scenario. We've seen plenty of anti-eco losses in CSGO's history. So, you know, they're not out of the woods just yet. Nico is still here with that dig. And he's looking for an angle, and he's going to find the headshot on JDM. But Elijah's going to strike right back. He takes down Chris J. There's a man lurking in shadow, but he's going to get spotted. Hiko not going to find the kill, though. He gets caught on the ladder. Luckily, Elijah's there to follow it up. And Nitro finally shuts down Nico's reign of terror in mid.
And not much else to say right next. 1 versus 3 Deagle, no armor. Not the type of scenario that you regularly win. Especially not as simple as walking into the middle, just spotting him out already. And that will be it. 15-6 now. 1 more round for Liquid, and they're going to make it through. Top fragging is still Elige, but Simple is catching up pretty hard right now. He's at 18, 17 for Nitro. And I don't know. I don't know what mousesports can do. Roll over.
I think everybody's wondering that right now, including Nico and Kassad. What can you do? What can you do? What is the answer? The answer is obviously get that op on Chris, cross your fingers, and hope he can start hitting some shots here, because they need it. He's going to go ahead, charge straight into mid, and now we're seeing some aggression from mousesports. It's now or never. Your backs are to the wall. It's time to take the fight to Liquid, and Nico, he's going to drop Hiko. So already, that works out nicely for mousesports. Only problem is 3 players waiting in Palace here for Liquid, and Nitro's going to open things up. He shuts down Dennis to start.
Yeah, and Chris hitting us, oh, so missing a shot there that he probably should have been able to hit. Now the bomb is being planted. Nico trying to be sneaky at the edge of the smoke, not quite going to be working out, not connecting with the spray either. Somehow, Nitro picking up that headshot in return, and now 3 versus 4 with the bomb ticking inside, flashbang through, and it was a beautiful one. If Nitro had pushed, they would have all been dead. They're trying to do it anyway here. Now he's actually stacked up next to them. What is going on? Finally, Chris and Speedy coming through with a couple of kills, but Simple and JDM are still alive. It's a 2-on-3, and there's JDM with the first kill on next. Simple helping out, and that's going to be the round. 16-6 as Liquid take out mousesports on 2 maps and make it into the top 8.
There's a happy man right there. JDM just joined up with Liquid. And, well, it's working out so far. Into the top 8 of the major they go with the help of Simple. And Liquid looking fantastic. mousesports just a disaster again. And I don't think that that's a grin of happiness on Speedy's face. I think he's actually feeling the pain so much that it's more of like a rictus, right? You know, it's just the muscles in his face are stretched tight. Looks like a smile, but he is definitely not happy right now.
It's got to be something like that. A really painful loss, and I think this time it's even worse. I mean, previous majors, they seem like they're so close all the time. This time, they actually did get destroyed, especially on the second map. So that's just really, really rough, isn't it?
That's a hard stat line to be following as well, right? Have never made it out of the groups, mousesports.
Yeah, but you think about the other times they've been so close. You know, it's looked ridiculous. It looks like, you know, they're almost there, and then they don't make it this time. Things are even rougher. So I don't know where they go from here. I could imagine there being some sort of news about how this is all going to work out. But luckily for us, we will have a full tactical breakdown on what we saw on the second map here. It'll be after the break.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are here down in the player area. My name is Mitch Leslie, hello, and I'm here with Nitro, who was the top performing player for Liquid over both games. So congratulations to you on that performance. It was talked about early on the analyst desk that Mirage is not really a top map for you guys specifically, and of course it was the same map where you suffered that capitulation to Luminosity back at Columbus. So tell us a little bit through your eyes how this match and specifically that last map played out for you.
Well, like going into the boot camp, we were planning on playing Mirage a lot, and throughout the whole boot camp, it was just like everything felt like chaotic. Sure. It was hard for us to develop a proper default, and today we made a game plan for like pretty much like every round that would happen and every scenario, and we stuck with our game plan. And I mean, we had a really good CT side, so that really helped too. But yeah.
And overall, through both matches, we did see mousesports sort of put up on their T side quite a slow roll. This seemed to benefit you guys quite a lot. It seemed like you were fairly comfortable in receiving the T side pushes there. Is that true to say?
Well, I mean, like a lot of props to Peacemaker. He's like really good at what he does. We had a whole game plan for the T and CT side. So I mean, as you can tell, I pushed halls like every single round because I knew that they didn't have a guy halls, and I mean that it's just obvious like what they were going to do at that point with all the map control we had. So I mean, this comes down to prepping pretty much.
And of course, Simple's back in the lineup here. You know, obviously the change with JDM coming in. But what do you do with a player like Simple when he comes back? Do you just sort of start off where you left off, or is it something different this time with him in this lineup?
Well, going into the boot camp, we pretty much just reset everything. Like, we didn't keep any strats really because we had Peacemaker in-game leading for us, so it was a different in-game leader, obviously. We pretty much made him comfortable for his playstyle, and it's just working out like perfectly right now. I mean, it's nothing much more to say, but it's really good.
I mean, it definitely looks that way. Perfect, I guess, for you guys at least. I mean, how's it feel? You got a second chance, a second bite at the apple at the major championship. You're going to be in the arena in Lanxess. I mean, how are you guys feeling right now in general?
I mean, like our emotions throughout that game were just at an all-time high. Like, we're so excited because that was our goal going to the boot camp, was to make it out of groups at the major and become legends again. So, I mean, everyone's just super happy right now. We're just can't wait for tomorrow.
And legends you are. We do look forward to seeing you guys in the arena. I've been here with Nitro, but of course it is time to pass it over to the NVIDIA expert desk to break that match down.
Great to hear there from Nitro. Thanks very much, Mitch. Of course, Nitro, a very influential player, especially over on that first map. We were singing his praises and proceeded to do exactly the same into Mirage, which is where our discussion goes next. Thorin, Yanko, and Moses. Now, we're waving goodbye to mousesports. Liquid, a 2-0 victory over Mouse. They are retaining their legendary status, and it could get easy to hang up on the North Americans. But let's close down the mousesports story before we address
forever
North
if
Americans.
possible.
Okay. You know what?
Just close the org as well.
I just want everyone
close
at
Dig,
home.
Close mousesports, maybe even close Nip at this point.
I want everyone at home to be aware of just how frustrated Yanko gets in that green room watching mousesports play. Where does this frustration come from? Because you are shouting, screaming, face palming. What is it all about?
I mean, I was obviously cheering for Mouse because of my friends, but I wasn't annoyed as much that they're losing, but the fact how they were losing, they were spending a lot of time on their T side, not doing anything, not gaining any map control, and then when they wanted to go for an execute, they were left with 25 seconds where if anything goes wrong, they don't have time to react to it. There's not enough time to plant the bomb. As you heard from Nitro in the interview, and it was pretty obvious if you watched the game, Liquid had a clear counter to mousesports' plan by playing aggressively in ramp, playing aggressively in AEAPs, and it took Mouse too long to adjust to that. They had the perfect start, winning the pistol round in the first half, but from that point on, it was all Liquid.
I always want to spend all of our time now following that onto Liquid. Jason, is it too early to start singing the praises of Peacemaker? Because this team looks good very early in their life.
I don't think it's too early, but I think still I want to see some kind of interview with him or one of the players that talks in depth about what exactly he does.
Yeah.
I know, I forget who mentioned it in the green room. It might have been you, Yanko, maybe not, but someone had been talking about how Peacemaker and JDM had stayed up a lot of the night watching a demo. Was that you, Alex?
That was me. I'm very proud.
Yeah, way to go. Watch the demo on like every single player on mousesports and how they play each position. So that's where it comes down on things like Mirage, where they know they can exploit and get aggressive in halls. I mean, there were rounds where they pushed it, didn't even find anyone, and just left a player in there for. So if they came A in the late round, it's just you know, it's prime position, especially if there's a retake strategy with the rest. They just have them pinched from multiple different angles, and it worked out perfectly. So really good preparation for this matchup. Do want to know, I think the biggest thing that Peacemaker has done is Simple's buying into the system. That's the crazy part. Simple, who we've like with the way that he presents himself and in teams that we've seen, he doesn't really do that. Peacemaker's got him in line.
Perhaps respect. Simple respects Peacemaker's judgment. Is that what we're kind of going to be assuming?
Yeah, I think it's also the fact that there's actually some proper resistance there. Like in the past lineups, they didn't quite know how to handle him. Like since he's so talented, do you just kind of like, do you try and make him happy? Is that how it's going to work? And as a result, he's not going to get mad about anything. Do you try and discipline him in some way? But will that shut down his skill? It was always hard to kind of get that balance. But the reason why I do give Peacemaker a lot of credit is because, true, recruiting the team was the first step to getting all these great talents. But it's very rare actually you get this much talent and it ever meshes like this. And they play well off each other in such a short amount of time. And so I look at what Peacemaker's done. First and foremost, he's put Nitro back into that entry fragging role where he's really effective. Nitro's always been effective in that role. He's actually always himself chosen to come out of that role, and he becomes just another player, you know. When you have him going like that, I think the guy who must be the happiest with this series is actually going to be JDM, because he had a fairly average series. He just did his AWPing. He didn't do a lot other than that because he's not a great rifle player. But he finishes the series. He's convincingly beaten mousesports reasonably good European team. Meanwhile, he didn't even have to vaguely be the star player. Like, this must be like a new period in this guy's career because he used to carry and then they'd lose in the group stage at majors. So I feel like a lot of people here are kind of experiencing a new Team Liquid. This is a much better Team Liquid than the one that made the semis in Columbus, I think.
And I honestly cannot wait until we do dive into tomorrow and get to talk about, you know, potential between Liquid and, of course, Navi. That'll be their opponent. We'll be seeing that game.
Hiko was right.
Tomorrow. Hiko, it certainly was right.
Very right.
Liquid are legends. They retain the status and we'll have an opportunity tomorrow to meet the crowd. It's going to be awesome to see them. And of course, commiserations. mousesports do get added to the eliminated teams. Now, although we take a break and we do prepare ourselves for our final game of the day. It's a big one between Fnatic and FaZe. A rematch, in fact, of the best of one that caused so much upset in the group of death. And if I keep saying group of death and all these stats and all the rest of it, if you want to get your head around it, the easiest way is through the Score Esports application. You guys know the drill by now. It's all available and you can see the details underneath me. Right, we're taking a break. We're going into FaZe Fnatic after this one, a full best of 3. Can FaZe battle the ever-consistent Fnatic? We'll be finding out after this. Ever-consistent.